so much easier. I will admit, TikTok does a much better job of making it easy to get access to the lives.
Yeah. That's what I figured too. I feel like
There
TikTok.
we go. Let's see.
That's what I figured too. I feel like
There we
TikTok.
go. Now we're gonna get the. Here we go. The loop's about to happen.
The echo. Yeah.
All right. So this is a shorter month, right? So we only have 28 days versus.
We want to start on Sunday or Monday.
Let's start on Sunday. I think February 2nd is the best place to start, aka Groundhog's Day.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
And then we have February, the month, the day, right? February is a day.
Yeah.
Because it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
I forgot Wednesday.
Feb Day, then Thursday. So now Wednesday is now called Feb Day from now on.
Yes, only for the month of February.
Yes, Feb Day is now Wednesday. And then
have a thing to erase.
What happened to the eraser? Did it fall? It's right here. It's behind the monitor.
Oh. It's not like it even works anyway. So.
What's up?
It's not like this works anyway.
It works.
It works.
It works only if it's fresh. Oh. If it's not fresh, then it won't. Well, you know what you should do? We should get rid of this and just make this. Nobody gives us. Like, we already know what month it is.
I don't know what month it is.
Stop. All right. Because Tuesday is, I guess, the big day, right? Because we'll just make that the big day. Like, as we quadrant that off. All right.
You know what the secret to drawing a straight line is? You start at you visualize your endpoint and then you just go straight down.
It's not straight.
It's close enough. Yeah, you start off and you're like.
We work with a lot of engineers.
That is awful.
Yeah, that's a fantastic line. Yeah, the engineers in this group were not gonna love this. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's the best one. That's the best one.
Shu does our graphics. Straight line.
Yeah, this is why I have guidelines.
And you have computers to do this now.
Yeah. I don't have guidelines.
We'll ask OpenAI to make a straight line for us.
How was that? How was that? Come on.
It's a good straight line, but the problem is it's too small.
What do you mean it's too small?
Yeah.
All right. It'll be fun.
Because there's only 4 weeks this month.
How was that?
Anyway, you got it right there.
Yeah. Right
and then you got money. Yeah. But if you look, now like very little room, more room, way too much room.
Yeah. I think it's fun.
Dude, back in like high school and like elementary school when I was a kid, we had like these boards where like the professor or the teacher would have like the chalk like on like a big like it'd be like a stick that they held, right?
What?
And then it would have like a little thing that's popped out, and they would have 4 pieces of chalk or 5 pieces of chalk, and they would go like this across. It would make 4 or 5 straight lines in a row.
Yeah, they're like Wolverine.
Yeah, but it'd be cool if it shot out of like the back of their hand, but no, it was like a giant stick.
That's crazy.
And then they go, wee, wee. We need something like that.
Yeah,
but for markers. Yeah. All right. So, why am I writing? All right. All right. So we have Groundhog's Day, right? On Sunday.
Yes.
So we need to come up with a Groundhog's Day skit. So the thought process we have is what we're doing in the live stream right now. We then do the exact same thing from the live stream over and over and over again. Does that sound correct?
Yes.
Okay. So as if we start up, we have to everything we just said, then we have to memorize and do it again in each one of these things. We didn't think about this properly.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, that's all right. All right. So what are we gonna do
Why don't we just loop the clip over and over again?
Yeah. What are we gonna do? What's our thing for this week? So like last week was TDS related, very specific to like the commerce, all those things. And we had Radke on talking about TDS and like about him and stuff like that. So what do we do for the next 4 weeks? So
you're focused on the media room, how we kind of converted.
I like that. I like that idea. So this week will be media room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I know Beth came up and talked to me about storyboarding yesterday for an
Actually,
idea that she
storyboarding's a
had.
good one too. So maybe the week after we'll do storyboarding.
Yeah, we can do that.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, and we can talk to Tony about that as well.
Yeah, if he'd be willing to be on the live stream, I think
Yeah.
that'd be pretty awesome if he'd be willing to do that.
Yeah.
If that's an option. What else? So we got storyboarding, we got media room. What else should we be doing for this month? Look, I'm obviously saying yes to all the things you're saying.
Yes.
So you need to come up with more so I could say yes. It's a two-way street. I say yes, you come up with the idea.
We could bring in a sales representative to talk about
a CSM, like the benefits of a CSM.
Yeah.
So they're not sales. It's important that
Yes.
I very distinguish that. Like we don't have a sales rep here other than probably me, like is the truth, right? So everybody else is the people we have are all customer focused,
Yes.
and they are not trying to sell them something they don't need.
Yes.
It's only about, oh, here's the problem. Oh, we have a solution for it. If we don't, then we give them, somebody else or something like that, right? So, so a CSM week, I think, like, what is customer success? Like, what does that mean? So, like, I like that a lot, like customer success and like what it is, because we could talk a lot about. God, I can't spell for nothing.
Sus.
Customer
Sussy.
sus. Customer sus.
That's so sussy.
Oh, God.
I sound like a kid.
Yeah, very much so. Customer success. I like that. In fact, we can go into that one, like, because we can even talk about, like, I have my customer service. I have my little customer service videos that I've talk about all the customer experiences I have from third parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we get even a couple of our customers on that one. Like we can ask customer feedback for that week.
If we want to do that, I feel like we'd have to reach out to our customers to
I have a couple I could ask right away.
Yeah. So that we can get.
Yeah, and the cool thing is we just signed a brand new, pretty decent sized customer, and we can literally ask them like, "Hey, their first thing they're doing is this week. Like we just did it yesterday.
Yeah,
this is the very first thing we're doing. So it'll be 3 weeks in by the time that happens. That's not a terrible time to ask. Like, hey, how did it go so far? Like, what do we can do better? Like, we can straight up use that to our benefit of what this means. Now, they may not want it to be public, but we can try, right? Or ask. Because I want to know where we fall and where we do well and stuff like that, and how we can make sure that we're doing this right. Okay, I like that one. So customer success, storyboarding. Storyboarding is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Media room. So this week is media room, where we're going to talk about like, did we take any videos or photos of us when we painted the room?
No.
Like of us actually doing the painting?
No.
Why on earth did we not do that?
I think we just kind of locked in.
We were pretty sick that day too.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly day.
Yeah.
It was pretty gnarly.
Yeah. And not just because of the fumes, but I mean, like I went home and I had a fever 104.
Yeah, you also had pneumonia for like the past 2 weeks.
Well, it was before that. That was before that. Yeah. Okay, what else? Customer success, feedback, story. All right. What's coming up? So February, March Madness is coming up. So we'll have, maybe we can do something.
Yeah, the last week is on March Madness.
March Madness. Yeah.
Yeah. What would that entail then?
See, this is where I like to have some fun, like where we can. I'm obviously a big fan of sports and stuff like that, right? Not a huge college basketball fan, but I do enjoy watching the tournaments and stuff. I watch all of them.
Go Marquette. Go Marquette.
All right. Yeah. So, but I do enjoy watching them. So, but I always invite customers to be a part of a online thing that I put together every single year, and I personally give the like it's not a company thing. This is something I like. Hey, I'm gonna buy. I think I did a $100 gift card last year to wherever they wanted it to be if you win the bracket. Yeah, and I had like 40 people enter in. Yeah, all customers, all customers. Like 40 people enter in, and did you do it? I asked employees to do it too.
I didn't even know.
I definitely asked employees to do it too.
I'll set up a bracket.
Yeah. Yeah, I do it through Sleeper is the app I use for that and stuff like that. So that is one thing. So we can talk about that as one of the pieces. But I think it'd be actually kind of fun if we actually made our own bracket for something that we do, like a technical communications bracket.
That'd be fun.
That'd be fun. So
I feel, like the old school, like ESPN Sports Center commercials too.
Yeah.
for March Madness and stuff like that. I feel like we could recreate some of those too.
Do you mean like the office ones, like when
Yeah.
they're in the office
Yeah,
and
where
like
they're in
somebody
the
shows
office
up
and
or something like
stuff.
that?
Yep, yeah.
Okay, I don't even know if those. I think they still do that, don't they?
No,
Is that
not as much anymore.
No?
no. Those
Okay.
are like early 2000s when like ESPN was all like sports nerds. It wasn't really like more entertainment at that point.
okay?
Yeah,
I found that highly entertaining, but
Yeah.
that's where
yeah, it was. Yeah.
that's where Office Linebacker came from too, right? And stuff like that, the Terry Tate stuff.
I think so.
Right?
I think so.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, I would strongly recommend Terry Tate. Google search it. Office Linebacker. It's fantastic.
Yep.
Not that we should do that at all.
So they also brought Mutombo in, and like he was blocking like
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Like it would have like people like they
They crumple up,
Crumple up
whatever,
some of
and throw it in the
get out of my house.
I forget if that was State Farm or
What's that? I think that's ESPN.
that's ESPN.
I want to say it was ESPN.
Yeah, I'm pretty
maybe,
sure.
Maybe
It
I'm
might have
wrong.
been State Farm
It doesn't
too. I
matter.
don't
It
know.
could have been a commercial. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's all merges together.
Yeah,
You can
for
tell it's a
while.
successful. You can tell it's a successful campaign when you remember the campaign, but not the company that actually
Yes.
paid the money to make
Yes.
that happen. That's how you know that's good marketing, folks. Yeah, staying power, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like you give me a jingle like from when I was a kid, like 588 2300 Empire today, right? You
Yeah.
don't even know it,
I know that.
right? That's two
Yeah.
generations right here,
Yeah.
right? Like there's a millennial generation between us, and you know it as well, and you're
Yeah.
Gen Z, right? Like that is,
JG Wentworth,
yeah.
877
Yes,
cash
now.
now.
Yeah, exactly. So those, I feel like that's real marketing. Like
Yeah.
that, when
Yeah.
a person knows the brand. Yeah, I thought I was going to have a structured settlement when I was a kid. Like I was
Yeah.
sure of it, like because I knew JG Wentworth was going to get me a structured kind of a settlement when I was a kid, and then I'll get cash now. Like I was so positive. I didn't know what it was, but like
yeah.
I knew it was going to happen when I got older. It didn't, by the way, and I now know what that is. So yeah. No, I saw. So what can we do from a? Let's start with media room, so we don't,
Yeah.
so I don't mess it up. Because this one I think is going to be the most fun.
Yes.
I think this one's we're gonna spend a ton of time on that one. So
Yes.
whereas these are gonna be more probably directly beneficial for people actually.
Yeah.
So media room. So what are we gonna talk about in media room? What are we gonna? So we're gonna talk about painting it, like getting it. So like
Yeah,
maybe we
painting.
interview ourselves, like how we felt
Yeah.
about like setting this up and how it went and stuff like
Yeah.
that so far, because we did our first real shooting it last
Yeah.
week, right? Last
Um,
week or this week? When was
last
that?
week.
Last week. Jesus,
Last week.
dude,
It's been so
The
busy.
days
It's
just
been
blur.
so busy.
so busy lately.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk. So we'll do interviews with us.
Yeah.
So interviews with us.
Yeah.
With Shu, Aaron, and I think we interview each other.
Yeah.
Like not, and it's two separate videos. Like
yeah.
two separate pieces of content we create.
Yeah.
Like you and I are sitting down together,
Mhm.
and then we're like, like very professional. Like maybe like I'll wear one of my sports coats or something like that while
Yeah.
I'm interviewing you, like with like papers in front of me, and I'm like, hey, I'm like, how do you feel? And then like have a list of those questions and stuff like that, right? And I think I'll write my own questions, and you
Yes.
write your own questions
Yes.
for me. But you also have to do the same. Like I want you to like come in like super business professional, like
Yeah.
it's like anchor style,
Yes.
and asking those questions, and almost like grilling.
Yeah.
Like, if you
I'll
can,
slick
like-
my hair back. I'll do all that.
That'd be so awesome. Like straight up, like you greased
Yeah,
up,
just
like with the
greased
back.
up, hair back all the way, combed over to
Dude.
like hella hairspray.
For real? That's
I think it'd be
phenomenal.
hilarious.
Well, I mean, you have the Anchorman kind of like quaff
yeah,
already,
I do.
so, yeah.
I do. And I
Yeah.
used to have that like hairstyle too
Yeah.
for a while. It's not super hard for me to do.
I like it. All right. So interviews for Media Room about the Media Room,
Yes.
and then we can create the benefits, the reasons. So we'll create a blog post about. So the blog will be about the Media Room essentially.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
why did we create it?
like,
Why you should make one even or
Yeah.
have one in your office these days with social media and
Yes.
stuff like. So it'll be about social structure.
yeah, a space for social media. Or just a space for content, I guess.
Yeah, it really is content, I guess, really, not social
Yeah.
media. Because it doesn't even have to go into social.
Yeah.
If it
right.
goes in front of your customer in whatever way form it is, it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be social, right?
you know,
So content
marketing. Content marketing.
room, why it's important.
Because like you can send out like email blasts, newsletters, things like that
Yeah.
for this stuff. Yeah.
In fact, it's funny. So, um, I post every day almost, right? If not, sometimes multiple times a day, right?
Yeah.
And like, so Monday or no, what is today? Today's Friday, right?
Yes.
Okay. So on Wednesday, I
Yes.
posted, I was like, oh my God, I had a person that couldn't come to a conference that was going to be one of the speakers at one of the things I was doing. And I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do? And so I posted on there, right? And I'm like, this is just going into the ether. Nobody's going to look at this.
Yeah.
Like the views I think were on it were like 200 people looked at it.
Was that the
Nobody
one you
commented.
posted yesterday.
Two days ago, I did it
Yeah, I
Wednesday.
did see that. Yeah.
Maybe it was yesterday actually.
It was.
So it was. You're right. It was yesterday morning.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
You're 100% correct. It was yesterday morning.
You pop up on my LinkedIn
So-
feed like at the top every day. It doesn't even matter if you posted like a week or two ago. You were the first person that I see on.
Because
my
I'm
LinkedIn.
your engagement.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
So I get like 200 views and I'm like, nobody's liking or touching it. Like, I'm like, ugh, what a waste, right? 3 hours later,
Mhm.
I get calls
Mhm.
from multiple people.
Yep.
One key person that had multiple, like, so Trish, thank you very much. I appreciate you. You will mean the world to me. Trish from Terralingua. Terralingua, if you need language translations, check out Terralingua. She reached out to me, but a whole bunch of other people reached out to me as well. The amount of people I had that reached out to me because they saw the video,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, it's got no views. Like it's 200 people saw it.
Yeah.
Nobody engaged on it.
Yep.
But I had 7 people contact me.
Yeah.
Directly. Like they just called, picked up my phone, like because they're people I know, right?
Yeah. Right.
And they called me and I'm like, I gotta remember,
Mhm.
it's not about the reach all the time. It's not.
Oh, this guy's on low battery.
Uh-oh.
Didn't charge apparently.
Uh-oh. Now what do we do?
No, just swap out the receiver.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Grab it.
So it's still going though for the meantime?
Yeah. Yeah. We're still fine.
Can we plug this in? We can power it. Can't we like straight like just plug a USB-C into that?
Maybe.
Let's find out.
I've never done that.
Let's find out. Problems on the fly. Does that reach?
I don't know how long it's been dead for.
We'll find out in a second.
Oh, yep, it's charging.
Did that work?
Yeah.
Score. All right, cool. Oh yeah, I was talking about reach.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, I had a video. We had a video like I don't know, 2 months ago
Uh-huh.
that nobody saw. Like
Yeah.
nobody saw, but it directly. I got a call from this person that was the vice president of marketing for this organization. That's like, hey, can we talk about this? I'm like, I didn't know you guys did this. And it was about, in this specific case, it was about digital manuals and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know who this person is. I've never met them, but it's like it happened to click on their feed. They
Mhm.
happened to be one of the 8 people that watched this video, and it led to an opportunity,
Yeah.
like where we're now in the middle of actually building out a quote and stuff like that. And you know, so I just got to remember, it's not about the reach; it's about your network. And LinkedIn does such a good job with, I think,
Of
structuring
being able to
your
connect. and build out that kind of like spider web.
yeah. And I participate, so it's not just about posting on
Yes,
LinkedIn;
but
it's about
also
participation. So like commenting in other people's things or being a part of those conversations and those pieces. It's super important. If you don't, I would say I comment more than I post. Like I engage in other people's content more than I post. And I think that's what makes the difference there.
Yeah.
Because then more people see my stuff that wouldn't have seen it normally,
Yes.
is my guess. But which is I think what happened there. But again, it's all guessing. The problem is I don't really know.
Yeah. No.
So-
So the algorithm does what the algorithm wants to do. You know what I mean? It does its own thing.
It's funny, like I have deleted my TikTok account 80 times,
Yeah.
at least at this point, right? Where I like reset everything. So within a day of me reopening it,
Mhm.
of me just watching it for 10, 15 minutes, it is literally back to the same TikTok account I
Yeah,
had. In fact, I have 8 TikTok accounts for different things, right? And if I go to watch videos on any of them, it doesn't matter. They're all going to have the same exact set of videos that are
It's-
being displayed in front of me.
I
It's pretty
remember-
amazing.
I remember watching that one documentary that came out about social media a while ago.
Which one?
I forget. It was on Netflix. Like it was the really big one on Netflix at the time. I say this like this is like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was like 2022 or something. I had to watch it for one of my like
Classes.
philosophy class at Marquette, and the professor. It was like the professor's choice of like what they wanted to teach or whatever. So I signed up for the class, and it was about like technology and stuff like that, and looking at stuff like AI and gene splicing, genetic editing, and a bunch of other things. And so one of the topics you had to pick was social media or whatever, and this person picked this, or you had to watch this documentary and kind of do like a presentation about it. And so one of the things that they showed a clip, it talked about how Meta, or at the time Facebook and Instagram and all these social media platforms, essentially build a profile for you that they have stored in their servers in the back, and it doesn't matter if you create a new account or whatever or anything like that. It will trace back to your profile that they have essentially created for you.
Really?
Yeah.
So like based on like facial recognition and things like that?
Not
like, how does
facial
it know?
recognition, like IP addresses, interests, things like that.
Well, I mean, like my wife and I are super different in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Her content totally different.
They'll
than my
be able to
content.
narrow it down between what.
Although
you
there's
guys look
cakes on
at.
both of them. There's definitely a lot of cakes on both of them. Yeah.
But
In case you didn't know, my wife runs a small little bakery called Joby Bakes. So
it's very good.
yes.
And I'm not paid to say that.
Kinda. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they build a profile for you. They have it in their servers, and then that'll eventually link back to.
So if I
you.
create something from scratch,
Yes.
right? Put no name, like put like garbage name, garbage stuff like in
Yes.
there, it'll still end up being the same information that populates to you.
Yes. Depending on the IP addresses and stuff like that, the geolocations.
Interesting.
Like, there's so much data that goes into making your profile that eventually it'll lead back to your interest in who you are. Yeah.
Even if you're trying to fake it.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
And the thing is like, I have like my old Finsta where I turned into my like personal Instagram account. The data, like if you look at the explore page and stuff like that, I've had that Finsta since like high school, but like, my Instagram page I've also had since high school. So it's like I created 2 separate accounts, 2 separate times in my life, and then eventually like they just merged into the same thing.
So I had an Instagram account before Facebook owned them.
Yeah.
Right. I was an early adopter to it, right?
Here.
So like and back when they had like, I don't know, 6 or 7 employees, it was very small at the time. But I worked at Apple, and it was a cool app for us to use, and so we talked about it quite a bit and stuff like that. And then I stopped using it altogether. Like I straight up, it had nothing to do with the Facebook acquisition.
Yeah.
I just stopped using it. It just became the platform that like it had a lot more, graphic photos and stuff like that. It just became the thing where I'm not anti that. It wasn't what I was looking for in that app, right? There's other places to go for that stuff, guys. So so I stopped using it, and like, and in fact, remember, like if you remember, I was just using Facebook again. I've started reusing it just recently, and I was really disturbed. By the way, it's all gone. Yeah, all gone. Yeah. Like it's finally gone. We were like every time I've deleted or removed stuff, the stuff that, not that I mind, but I'm just simply saying, I don't want to see on something like this.
Yeah. Especially when you're just trying to use it for work.
Which is the worst. I'd have it up on my laptop, and there's, I'm like, this is not supposed to be here. Like, yes, because I'm posting is the main reason. Right? I'm not even looking at content, right? I'm just using it for posting. At the time, I do look at content now on it, but the reason I say that is because after like finally teaching it that I don't want to see that stuff anymore. If I was to create a brand new account based on what you just said, it sounds like that would show back up again.
It would.
Interesting. I kind of want to do it now just to see if that's happening.
Set up the exact same account with the same demographics that you have. Give it all the information that you have. Yeah. That you currently like have available on your Facebook account. Put in a different name, a different whatever. Make a fake email even.
Sure. Well, I mean, right. Don't we all have like 80,000?
Yeah. But, do any of that content because of your demographics of, where you live.
White male in his 40s,
yes,
like in this specific area. Yeah.
That content will show up again.
I'm gonna try that. I gotta be honest. Like I just want to see if that's actually what's gonna happen or not. Because it's funny. Like again, with TikTok, it's very straightforward. Like I always say, I'm like, oh, TikTok. I'm like, I have to start over. I'm like, because I know what I'm gonna see, and I don't want to see all that stuff, right? But within 20 minutes, it's back to dad jokes and food and stupid stuff like that I like, right? Like, and,
their algorithm is way more fine tuned.
Yeah, it knows it. I mean, it does take a little bit of time. But as soon as it figures it out, like it's that's all I see. And then I get sports and I get football.
I was getting the most insane like posts when TikTok came back.
Everybody was talking about the
dude. It was
mine was fine. Mine was literally exactly what it was.
No, mine like reset and it became like. Have you ever spent any time on Instagram Reels?
Very little.
It is abysmal on there.
Well, I mean, that's what was showing up in the Facebook thing. I was like that. That was what I was saying. I was like, that was my problem. Right? I'm like, all the other stuff was fine, but like the Reels, every time like the little Reels thing would pop up, like it was just
my Reels is
graphic.
Like, it's graphic in a sense that I think Reels. I've had a problem when they initially launched it. It was just car accidents. No, like it was people getting hit by cars. Like it was like graphic content in that sense.
Oh my god!
That was my Instagram Reels when they first launched it, and it stayed like that for at least a year or two.
Wow!
Yeah, I hated it. I hated it.
Wow!
Yeah, and it was like
I mean, I have Instagram on my phone right now, but I couldn't tell you the last time I opened it because I can post directly from Facebook to both platforms.
So, like,
so but I know I have it, and occasionally somebody DMs me, but it goes to that Facebook Messenger. It doesn't go to like Instagram doesn't have its own Messenger, does it? Right?
Instagram DMs and Facebook are linked
to the Facebook Messenger, right?
Yeah. Now, if you have that integration,
and I got rid of WhatsApp altogether. Finally, I officially killed it.
Yeah.
I have friends overseas because I used to live overseas, and that's how we all communicated was through WhatsApp. But now we've figured other ways around it. We've gotten off the platform. So,
but Instagram Reels I was never really a fan of. But like my Instagram Reels now is like schizo content.
Well, it's funny. My YouTube Shorts,
so my TikTok reverted back to like schizophrenic talk, like schizo posting.
My YouTube Shorts. Right, is now almost the same as my TikTok, almost identical.
That's nice. I remember when YouTube.
And I assume it's because when TikTok was possibly going to go away, which it still may, right? Like I assumed, like they did something to pick up that information, because it literally is, and it's almost the same font, like the same people I see that they moved to Shorts, and it just kind of all that stuff's kind of.
Shorts pays a lot more.
Oh, does it? I don't actually know.
They started prioritizing
because I haven't made a dime.
I know Shorts YouTube started prioritizing Shorts, so the split was you get 55%. Like for YouTube, I think it was like the 50. It was like 55-45 in terms of splits when it came to ad revenue.
Yeah.
So if you were posting Shorts. Or how they had their model breakdown or something like that, they would pay out more for Shorts than they would like normal YouTube content at that time when they launched Shorts. So now I don't know as much.
So it's funny. Like I think that's actually what you just brought up is an important piece. Like monetization is not something we're after. In this platform, right?
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's why it's important without monetization. Like maybe that's the conversation because like we've made a very strategic and very specific point to do it because we're now highly searchable. We're able to be found more frequently. Again, like even in like in AI tool sets and stuff like that, we're now showing up, which was super cool.
I did look up Kenko TDS.
Yeah.
And it is not ours anymore. It doesn't come up. It's like some plumbing company. Yeah. It's literally like
you saw me doing it, right?
Yeah,
like,
I saw you.
And I had Scott do it, and I was like, "Look, what's showing up?" He's boom, shows up.
Grab chat.
Should I try it right now?
Yeah, try it now.
All right. Well, I can use I have the new company one, right? So I'll use the company GPT instead of my own. We'll see if that makes a difference. What is Ken Cook? No, it's popping up.
Really?
Yeah.
I did it. Are you signed in?
Yeah, I'm signed in.
Just sign out.
Oh, just use an open one?
Yeah.
Okay. Just go to what if I use DeepSeek?
That'd be cool. Yeah, no, but I went in off of a not signed in account, and I looked up. I was like Ken Cook TDS, and then it was like Ken Cook is a plumbing company, And I was like, what? And I typed in Ken Cook Co. because I thought it was, a differential on that.
The website's currently under maintenance for DeepSeek. I can't even log in with my account.
That's crazy.
That's it's not really.
Yeah.
It's not crazy at all. It's like,
I think they've blocked it. But try ChatGPT.
here, let me go to like my
incognito, so
yeah,
you don't have
I
any
got it,
cookies or anything. Yeah.
that one's showing up, right? Well, let's go to.
What is it not working?
Let's go to. No, it showed up. Let's go to
It did?
Claude. Let's go to Claude.
It didn't work for me.
Let's go to Claude. And let's try that. What is Cook TDS? Oh, does Claude use the internet?
I don't know. I know when I went into ChatGPT and I was like,
In order to use the web browser function of it, don't you need to have a paid subscription for it to work like that? Because it has to be web based, right? So it has to look at it, be able to go through the web to pull up the information. Whereas I thought the free one didn't do that. It has a limited space on the free one.
I don't know. Truthfully, I have no idea.
So
But I remember looking it up yesterday, and then
stay logged out
on the free version or whatever, and then it was coming up and saying Ken Cook Co. is it?
Yeah, no. If I'm not logged in, it doesn't have. See,
Yeah.
the free version doesn't. Well, it doesn't have web access. That's why.
Ah,
So yeah, on the free version, there's no web portal. Like
Yeah.
it can't search the web. That's
Yeah.
why. So that's the difference there. Is that if you're on the free or I should say, well, if you log in, do you get? I don't know what you get with ChatGPT by itself. Like I've been on the paid version for so long, so I don't know. Because there's no web. It openly shows there's no web. It's only the one version.
Okay.
So, which would make sense. It's guessing on
what it is.
with the scrape data up until I think it's till 2021, right, or something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's relatively older
Yeah.
in that specific way. But if you log in with a credentialed version where it uses the web to search for the content, that's
you'll
when
be able to get.
it showed up on both. Yeah. So, all right, what are we doing? I'm sorry. So
You're good.
okay.
Yeah.
So why it's important for us to talk about content, why it's important to have a content room or a content place or a place to be structured content where you're removing yourself from the sales pitch and the sales process, right? Okay. I think that's a good one to have.
Yeah.
And then who do we talk to this week on the live stream? So the live.
You just talk about us setting it up and stuff like that.
Just us.
Yeah.
Who else? I feel like we should maybe ask somebody. I have some friends that are in marketing. Maybe I can ask one of them to join us and talk about why a content strategy is important, why something like that. Maybe
That'd be fun. Actually, that'd be a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We ping a couple people.
Yeah.
I sit on the board at this small little marketing company, so maybe I can get one of them to.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So maybe a marketing one. So marketing. This may be also too quick, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
All right. So storyboarding.
Yes.
All right. So the importance, how to structure a proper storyboarded message? Like is that probably what we do, right?
Yeah.
So we'll talk to Tony.
How to structure and why you would want to storyboard something.
Or why is it important?
Yeah.
Okay.
Live with Tony.
Tony, maybe.
Yeah.
If he wants to. Okay. I can definitely get a customer success person because they work for me. So
Yeah.
CSM.
You scratch it out like you're on pen.
I know.
No, you're fine. I just think it's funny.
I know.
I just think it's funny.
Where I could wipe it, but then again, my fingers all dirty. Look, it's all black.
Yeah.
All right. So for customer success, customer feedback. So this would be maybe for this week we will focus on for the blog. It'll be on customer engagement, like how the proper process for customer engagement. What is the benefits of why use a customer success strategy, something like that.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the blog. Okay. All right. Cool.
And then March Madness.
March Madness. So this is the one where we can come up with some different things. So let me
Yes.
grab a chair here for a second, because I think we can do a couple different. Let's just spitball. Like, what could we do? So we have a
Mhm.
maybe for a TechCom. So like TechCom. Well, we definitely will do a.
Bracket.
We definitely do a customer sign up.
Oh yeah.
TechCom breakdown. So how would that look like for a TechCom breakdown if we were to do that? So it would be like writing versus or like print versus digital, right?
Yes.
Versus digital, right? Like things like that, and writing versus editing, right? Maybe that's not a good one to do, because like you're saying one's more important than the other, right? Or whatever. Or maybe we could have a vote system to it. Like we can create a bracket and then have people vote.
Yeah.
How would we? I could build a form where they could fill that out.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe we put it up on a TDS, like on one of the.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Because I know. You ever follow Stephen A. Smith Burner on Twitter?
I know Stephen A. Smith Burner? No.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith, yes.
Well, yeah. Right.
Obviously, I know Stephen A. Smith.
There was a very famous account called Stephen A. Smith Burner on Twitter. Like,
are you saying burner, like as in like a burner,
like a burner
okay.
account?
I didn't know it was like burner. I was like, who's burner?
No. It was an account that was like super famous on Twitter, especially like NBA Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where they every March they would post meme madness. So it was like Stephen A. Smith clips, and then you would have to vote against which one was better. So it reminds me of that. Like which one was funnier, I guess. So like,
so we actually makes like a ton of posts. We make every post.
Yeah.
Right. Like one about each post.
Yeah. It's just voting on which one.
Wow.
You like.
I actually like this a lot.
Yeah.
So, because this one can go multiple weeks, right?
Yeah. Right.
Right. So like, and then
so we could have a poll every week.
So maybe it's not a poll though.
Uh-huh.
So what you're saying though is maybe we make, at least this is the way I'm taking it or hearing it, is we make a piece of content about writing. We make a piece of content on editing. We make a piece of content on print. And then have them face off each week.
Yeah.
Right. So like separate pieces of content, separate videos that go out. Right. And they're tiny. Whichever one gets the most views, comments, likes.
Yes.
Then that one moves forward the next week.
Yeah.
So we have to make 16 pieces of content.
Yeah.
I don't hate this at all. I don't hate this at all, actually, because it forces us to make a bunch of content, right? And it's going to take, March Madness goes, what, till the 18th?
Well, it starts in February.
That's what I'm saying, but March Madness goes until...
like the April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it go that long? Does it go all through?
Championship game is always in April.
Okay. So...
April, like the first week.
So this is kind of cool, because this can make our entire structure for March of content to go along with it, right? And like based on the winners, and like we can have like, I think that's a cool idea. This one we'll have to start doing now. Like we'll have to like, especially with this stuff, we can literally start shooting this stuff today, almost, for some of the stuff like about where we even use some of the existing video content we have.
The Final Four starts on April 6th.
Okay.
And then the actual like championship game is April 8th. So we have,
but I don't want to do 32 pieces of content or 64 pieces of content like for the bracket, right? Like, or can we even come up with 64?
That's so much.
Can we even come up with 64 different things that we can talk about for TechCom? By the way, we don't have to stick with TechCom. That was just simply the idea.
Yeah.
We can, like another one would be food, right? We can just make something fun, right?
We should have 4 categories.
What do you mean?
4 categories that kind of relate to Ken Cook. And then we could have it.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
So things we do.
Yeah.
So like we have TechCom, right, which is one thing, but it has pieces that share, right?
Yes. Right.
So we have print, right?
Yes.
Right.
Print,
right. And
creative
then we
services, and then dev.
Media.
Yeah, media, dev.
Well, I guess it's part of creative, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
And dev.
Yeah.
Or is that software then as well?
Yeah,
So
software,
is that TDS?
dev, IT, TDS.
Is that TDS?
Yeah, all
Because I
that
mean,
stuff.
because this kind of goes into this too as well as a
Yeah,
problem,
right.
right? So
But we have to have very clear
I think-
definitions. and
I
then we
think
can
that's
do
pretty
this.
damn cool, right? Because
Yeah,
TechCom has writing, it has training, it has education, all that stuff in it, all
Yeah.
in the TechCom, right? And then print, it has those things as well.
yes.
So we can kind of like re-spoof some of the content back and forth
Yes.
together, right?
Yeah.
But it has to have its own identity to each one. So
Yes.
each one of these brackets then has each one of these has 16. So-
That's for a 64 bracket.
Yeah. So we'd have to identify-
We could do like a 4.
All right, let's write all these things out. Let's actually just fucking try it. Why not?
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, we scrap it, right? What's the worst that happens? It doesn't work out, right? All right, so let's just think about this. So all right, so we have writing in
Yeah.
TechCom, right? Which also goes into creative services, right?
Yes.
So writing. So
Editing.
theoretically,
Technical
the thing
editing.
can go into both places because this piece of content may go into more than one bracket, right? If we
How will that work if they face off?
because it's
Each
TechCom,
other.
so it's writing TechCom. So it's like
Oh,
like
yeah.
Virginia Tech versus Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Like the same idea,
Yes.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, I see that. Yeah. Yeah.
right? So creative writing versus tech writing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That kind of idea, right? Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah, we have to make a clear distinction on that then for the content.
training,
Yes.
and that would be tech, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then so what else we got here? We got manuals,
Mm-hmm.
but again,
That falls under print.
problems with the print too, but it's manuals tech, right?
Yeah. Tech manuals,
Tech manuals, whereas this is
print manuals.
print manuals.
What's the difference between a tech manual and a print manual?
Well, there's a difference between an operator manual and a technical manual. There's ones for operations and
Yeah,
things like that,
so
but that kind
we
of
can do
falls under
that.
tech communications as well. So theoretically, that could be actually manuals could be in this multiple times actually, because if we just do manuals, operator,
Yeah.
or operation, right? But
I really like the writing tech.
I'm sorry.
No.
Oh,
It's funny because like you said, Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Like the technical schools.
Yeah. That's why I did that. Yeah.
That's so funny.
So then we can have training in tech, operator training. Like we can have operator versions of this too as well. But let's keep going. So
Yeah.
what else goes into technical communication? So we have
Editing.
editing.
Yeah. Tech editing tech.
Yeah. Editing.
What
What else? What else goes into that? God, it's all we do. Why the fuck do we not know this? Why the heck do we not know this? Yeah. The problem is now we're sitting in front of us and I don't have my computer's live streaming it, so I don't have my computer in front of me to think about everything or have everything right now. Because
want your
literally
phone?
everything we do is technical communications in some way, right?
Right.
I mean, because we also can have bulletins.
Uh-huh.
What else?
Events
Events.
or like live training.
Oh, live. Actually, I guess I would call that live training.
Yeah.
Live training. Or in person.
Yeah.
How
How many is that?
7.
7?
But theoretically, if we use this separation of operation and tech, we could also do this for op as well,
Yeah.
right? And we could do this for op as well,
Yeah.
right? But they're both technical writing. It's just one's for a technician and the other one is
For an operator.
operator,
Yeah.
right? It is different writing,
Yes.
but it's the same.
Same.
There's it's
principles.
same classification
Yeah.
principle. It can be, right? It depends. A technician is different than an operator. They are
Yes.
two different jobs.
Yeah.
But the idea is of who writes it, it ends up being
Yeah.
the same person most of the time. So.
I think we should get 4 to 8 for each one.
All right, so let's just go to the next one. So
Yeah.
print. So we have like binding.
Binding, kit building.
So like I guess binding, right, is theoretically different types. So we have coil.
Yeah.
Right, and we have binding. Perfect.
Saddle stitch.
Binding. Saddle.
Yep.
Bear with me.
There's
Let's just okay. So what else we have? We have
a bear with you?
yeah. Nice one. All right. So then we also have like print on demand, right? On demand.
Yep.
on demand,
Media one-off.
which is that.
Yeah.
So we can actually do like, because theoretically that's here, right? That's a
Media
product.
one-off, yeah.
Media one-off is a product that we developed here
Yes.
to do print on demand,
Yeah.
right? That's what media one-off does, is do that. And there's like, but because
Well, I mean, you should do POD, and then we can do
one-off.
media one-off for dev. We can talk about the CMS for this as well. I'm getting ahead of myself.
yeah, you're fine. You here, take a pen and start writing this stuff out. Yeah, help me out.
Yeah.
POD, like the band.
Uh-huh.
I feel so alive for the very first time. All right. I don't know if you know who POD is, but
Nope.
they're like a new metal band from, like, I think they're Christian rock though too. It's
So
kind of
funny.
like when Creed became popular, and then everybody's
Yeah.
like, oh, I think they're Christian rock, and then they stopped liking them.
Yeah.
POD is that same kind of. Yeah, it came out like Limp Bizkit time. Stuff like that.
Oh yeah, with like Fred Durst.
Well, they were like, so that I Feel So Alive song was like after 9/11. Like that song was
yeah.
like the song post
Post 9/11.
post 9/11. So or one of the songs, I should say. Like Toby Keith had
Oh yeah.
whatever, the Proud to Be an American or whatever.
Yes,
I forget
yeah.
the name of it. Yeah. Where at least I know I'm free. Yeah. CMS, TDS itself,
Yeah,
like, you know, TDS. We can separate those out. Like on this
Yeah.
one, you can go from, on TDS, you can go all the functions like events, courses, QR code, right?
Digital bookstore.
Bookstore, yeah, e-commerce. There's that one we can list for like 80 things actually, pretty easily. Print on demand. We can do CD, DVD.
Just
because it's part of the media one-off in the print, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah,
It's like the physical formats for training.
yeah. So that would also then maybe USB would be in there too,
Yeah.
right? These are all the physical forms that we print to, right?
Yeah.
Theoretically, I mean, it is
Yes.
printing still, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
digital print, but it's
Yeah.
print, right, on a physical piece of media.
Mhm. You can talk about marketing materials, printing marketing.
Oh yeah, so we can do signage.
Yes. Stuff for like trade shows.
Let's see here. So the actual print material. So this would be also the manual, right? Like we had over here. So like
Yeah.
manuals. Then it would be parts catalogs.
Yep.
Parts catalogs.
Uh,
What else? We can do brochures.
brochures.
Brochures. No.
Yeah, close enough.
Okay. I'm like, why can't I spell this? Brochures. What else? Flyers.
Flyers. Yeah.
Flyers is like fly.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like flyers.
Yeah.
Like as if they're flying.
Yeah.
Why am I struggling with that?
Because you want to put an eye there.
I do, like badly.
Yeah.
No, because that'd be flyers, like they'd be flying,
Yeah.
right?
I know.
But that also is how you fly. Yeah, this is English is a messed up language.
It's super
Thank
hard.
God I have more talented people that know how to write and spell. Let's see here. Flyers. What else? Oh God, we print so much stuff. Instruction, course books.
Course books, yes.
We do a lot of those.
Yeah.
What do you?
I feel like there's a lot we can consolidate.
What are the takeaways on in a marketing piece of material? Like when you go to a show, and they give you it's a brochure, right? It's a brochure. Like you take
brochure, flyer, coupon,
catalog.
catalog.
Catalog is what I was looking for, and I just did parts catalog. Yeah, so catalog. Catalog.
CUE?
What's up? What?
Isn't catalog spelled CATALOGUE?
Oh, I didn't finish. Sorry.
I think that's good for print. I feel like we have a lot we can work with.
Is there more? We also don't need all these. We can combine
right.
them.
We can consolidate.
Right,
a
and this
lot
could
of
all
things.
could be one media thing
Yeah,
and
you
that
know
kind of
what I
stuff.
mean?
So
Like,
there's
print media. These are all marketing materials. We could have manuals and parts catalogs be separate. Yeah, there's a lot.
all right. Well, let's do this. We have one more to do here, so let's do
video assets.
so video
Training.
video.
Is training part of creative?
Training is
Sure.
if you were to ask me to define
Yeah.
our company, we have creative services
Yes.
and we have print services.
Yes.
Those are the two things we have. Do we have arbitrary
Names
silos
for
and
things,
names and stuff like
yes.
that? Sometimes it makes it easier for the customer to understand, the
Yeah,
training
right.
department, right? And
Right.
theoretically, the training department is the largest department
Yes.
in the company, actually.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody feeds into it. And then I would say, really, in all honesty, we're a print company and a creative services company.
Yes.
In the creative services, the largest
We also
part
do
of it
training.
is training.
Yeah.
Is the largest part of the
Yeah.
creative services, but like, even print kind of falls into that as well.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But Dev is, works here, works in both. So it all kind of blends.
It's a bunch of synergy.
Yeah, but I mean, so in this,
Uh-huh.
LMS could be a part of that. Like, there's other things in that API. Like there's so many different things we can do in the dev side.
Yeah.
So video, this is where we have desktop publishing. We have illustration.
Yes. We forgot translations.
That's actually we always partner with
Yeah,
the translations and stuff like that. So
I'm just thinking off of what we have on our website.
Yeah, I mean, it is a core thing we do, and we do partner with it. And we do help make reduced price, but stuff like that. But most of the time, we end up working with companies like Terralingua. We love you, Trish. Let's see here. Illustration. Why am I blanking on this? You guys Photoshop. So like, would Photoshop be the thing, or like photo work? Graphic design. There you go.
Design. Yeah. 3D.
UI UX.
UI UX. Yeah.
Is that two separate or is that one?
That's one.
Okay.
One thing together.
In this case, yeah.
In this case, yeah, it can be separated, but it's like you can't have UI without UX. You can't have UX without UI.
Oh, I'll disagree with you heavily.
Really?
Actually, yeah. So like a user experience is what is the user experience. So like defining out the current process, that is still a user experience. Doesn't mean you have a good user interface, but you can define out the user's experience and then build a user interface to that, what you want it to be or define. So like they do go together, but you can have a user experience without a user interface.
Yeah.
Like
then that's
because I am actually well known in this space. Yeah. I've been a professor at schools and taught classes on this. I don't know anything really about this. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a graphic designer. These can be very different.
Yes.
I know this very well. I then rely on people like you. Like, here's the instructions.
Yes.
Here's what I want.
Yeah.
Can you make that look pretty?
Fair enough.
It's more than that. I know a user interface is way more than that.
Yeah.
But because you're thinking about the function of size and things like that. So as well, but that theoretically can be two different things. But we'll put it together as one.
I think video we can do with 3D.
Oh, let's not group things together yet. 3D is definitely a piece of this, right? Or and then I would even say AR, right?
AR, VR.
VR. We can combine them later. Yeah. This one is one I think does go together, but you're probably right. We can also look at them separately.
3D, 3D that also falls into the CAD.
Oh, storyboarding, like literally we're just storyboarding, right? Storyboarding. Production.
Yeah.
Pre-production.
Pre-production. Yeah.
Post. AKA editing.
Yeah. I'll group this with CAD.
Okay, I like that.
Because that makes sense.
I mean, and all this is the truth.
Yeah, they're all
this.
Work together.
They're all this.
Like, yeah, right.
Like all of these things go into this. Yep. Even on the marketing side of things, it all goes into this. For us, I can't think of a single customer where it doesn't end up there.
Yeah, right.
Can you?
Not really.
Even the customers like on the medical side, it still ends up being this.
Yeah, it's still it's still technical communications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Through technology, theoretically.
Yeah, right. But
not the same type. Okay. I feel like but I think we're missing stuff here. Yeah. API, right? Would be one of them. If I just open up TDS and I look at the listing on it alone, right?
Right.
Media libraries.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
You're good.
Frick, where's my phone?
Media one-off, CMS, API, TDS, TDS events, courses, digital bookstore, e-commerce.
Admin. TDS.
LMS.
Yeah, LMS.
Yeah.
TDS.com. Because we can go outside of
LMS slash LRS.
Yeah. All right. So commerce, digital assets, print on demand, which is media one-off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Events.
Yep.
So live courses, right?
Yep.
Live courses. Help center. Yes. So because it is.
That's what I was looking for.
I was like, there was something I was missing. Yeah. Help center. Oh, analytics. Right? These are all big parts and tenants. Tenants, subsites, right?
Sub.
Or they're called tenants in our platform, right? But I say subsites just because it's what a customer understands better. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah. But that's all. Those are all the things that are in here.
I feel like that's a solid list.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could work with that.
I feel like the TechCom is too small. All right. Well, let's see. Should we? First of all, I guess the first thing we should do is see, can we write or create or produce something simple, video or asset, to make this for the voting for it to work.
Yeah.
So that the first thing we would do is, I think, is it an easy one to do or not? Like, how easy is it?
Yeah.
I think this one's highly easy, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'll put a little X if it's easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Training, absolutely very easy for us. Manuals, tech. So this is the one where I would be like, how
these together.
It'd be these together because it's kind of the same process.
Yeah.
So these two get merged right into one. These are just manuals, technical writing for manuals, right? Or technical creation of manuals.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, X. Okay. Or do we need a different grouping? And like TechCom is not really because TechCom is everything, right? Because this is the technical communications like bracket, and then this becomes something else. Like,
I think it would need to.
Right?
Yeah.
Because all this stuff kind of goes, like literally everything we have here.
Yeah, it just fits into these things, you know?
Yeah, actually, Bulletin Manager would go into that as well. And then, yeah, bulletins kind of go into the desktop publishing, or can for most things. And it goes into print because it may go out and mailed.
Yeah. We can talk about TechCom principles.
I think it's TechCom here, right?
Yeah, right.
Here, and then do we need another thing here?
Yeah, we definitely do for it to work.
So what is so we've got print, we got media, we've got dev,
TDS,
infrastructure.
Training.
We can make training its own.
Yeah,
I mean, but it's going to repeat half of this shit, if not all of it.
I feel like there's certain principles of training that we could.
ID and stuff like that.
Yeah,
all right, let's try it. Let's see it. Let's see what we got. Everything we had there is over there. So
yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do training. It's funny. Both of us are training, and
yeah, like well,
I mean, I guess I'm not in the training department anymore, but I started it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about training or education. So we got ID. So instructional design, we have writing again, but this is instructional writing, which is different than instructional design, or is part of instructional design.
Yep.
Right. Then we have UI UX again is a big part of that, like because where things are laid out and designed.
So we can steal UI UX and put it into training,
but it goes into both. Kind of goes into that one too.
We could separate UI and UX and put one into.
Yeah, I would say user experience is more important here than it is here. So maybe we just do.
This would be UI.
Yeah, actually, that'd be kind of cool if that would met up later too, as well, like UI versus UX.
Yeah,
I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah. All right. And then we have over here, like we have LMS or LRS, LMS. Right. So you can kill LMS on that one, but I leave LRS because LRS is in that for now, because those are two different things, right? Whereas if I'm just talking training or in general, right, like then we can talk about XAPI.
You have the eraser.
Don't you have your finger? I'm just kidding.
I like using it.
I'm just kidding. All right. XAPI. We've got LMS, LRS, instructional design, instructional writing.
CMS. We can talk about articulating.
What you call it? Course building. Assembly? No, course assembly. Course.
Yeah, course assembly.
Course assembly.
Yeah.
Course build.
Course build,
Course build.
structure.
It's all part of this.
Yeah, right.
So, course.
So that's going to be the number one seed then, right?
Probably.
We also have to figure out seeding.
Yeah, fuck, I didn't think. Well, it's just again, we're getting there. But here's the thing: I think this could make our entire month next month.
100%.
I think this could 100% building this out and starting to structure now, because these are going to be not too difficult
Yeah.
to really for us to build. Storyboarding, because we have tons of assets from Tony, from Tony,
Yeah.
from Sony. I mean, this camera is a Sony, but
Yeah.
And we do love Sony products. I will admit, I love my PlayStation.
I do love my PlayStation. What
yeah.
can I say?
I love my A7 camera, and I love my, what is this, an A60, A6700
Yep.
that we have here.
Yep.
And I've got tons of Carl Zeiss lenses that are made by Sony as well.
Oh,
Don't love your phones though. Never have.
They have phones.
The Ericsson division phones. They used to make phones. Yeah. I don't know if they still do, but yeah.
I don't think so.
They were a big phone manufacturer back in the day.
Did not
Them and
know.
Nokia, if you remember them.
Yeah, I remember. I had a Nokia.
So yeah, Sony Ericsson was probably like the second biggest back in the day. Yeah.
Are we going to move the CMS into training, or is that more so for dev?
I think it's dev. I think that's definitely dev. Because it's not like you need a CMS in education.
Yeah.
If anything, a DMS is used heavily in training, because that's where you have like your development. So it's where you dev stuff like, I'm working on this piece of it and I need the next person to step into it. They can then use a DMS to log in, and then they get access to the course to continue on that piece and structure and stuff like that. Which we don't use. That's not our, that's because we have specific products that we've designed without the need of it.
Yeah.
What else? What do you call a person a facilitator? Facilitation?
Project manager, facilitator.
Facilitation. We could use SCORM, I guess. Hopefully that one loses. That one gets like the low bracket. Hopefully it loses.
Put it in the 512 seating so that the 12. You know how that works?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Let's see here. What else? It's not 2004, folks. Stop using this. It's not 2004. Please. CMI 5, since we're going to talk about that. CMI 5.
What is that?
That is,
XAPI.
it's kind of not the replacement, but it's an extension of XAPI, and it theoretically is a different thing,
Yeah.
but it works off the structure of XAPI. So, let's see what else. All right, so facilitation ID.
Should I take XAPI out of dev?
Do we have XAPI there?
Or
We just
it's just API?
API. That's different between XAPI, because XAPI is a structured function for training development,
Okay.
whereas the API that we have on
Yes.
Dev is our API for all sorts of different integration pieces to go different tools,
okay.
very different tools.
Yeah.
Because we will use an XAPI package
Yes.
in TDS, then our API will then make calls out to other places.
Okay.
Two different things. Terrible naming convention, which is why I think maybe CMI 5 will hopefully take off better. HTML.
Yeah.
HTML 5. I'm sure I'm missing stuff. I guess programs,
Mm-hmm.
cohorts. We can actually go into like structured education, cohorts, programs.
Would live training in the,
Facilitation.
Facilitation. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's virtual or live.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I think that's. I can't. I'm sure I'm going to come up with more.
Yeah. I feel like
I
this
think my
solid
brain's just a
list,
little bit
though.
out of brain rot at this point.
Yeah.
Staring at this.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a lot. So again, we'll go back through the list. Like we just eliminated that entire thing and then built a whole bunch more. But I think we then start looking at what are going to be the things we can produce content the easiest, right?
Yes.
And let's do it like, instead of doing an X, maybe I'll do a rating 1 through 5, right? 5 being the easiest,
Yes.
1 being the hardest,
Yes.
or vice versa. What do you think? 5 being the easiest or hardest, or 1 is the easiest?
5 being the easiest.
5 is the easiest. Okay, so an ID in shooting an instructional design video about instructional design, I can honestly talk hours about ID. So
Yeah,
I
feel
think
like
that's a
that'll be
5 for
super
me.
easy.
Instructional writing, that's bothering
Uh-huh.
Liz and
Leah.
Leah.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a little harder. So I'm gonna put that at a 3,
Yeah.
just because other people have to be involved. And it's not that
Yes.
they can't do it; it's just that
Yeah.
we have to bring in other people, right?
Yes.
UX, I
Yeah,
can
you can talk.
I
about
can
that.
talk about that. You can talk about that too.
Yeah.
LRS, I can talk pretty heavily about that as well.
Yeah.
LMS, I can talk very highly on that as well.
XAPI.
XAPI, I could talk very highly on that as well. I forgot what I was saying here. Course assembly.
Yes. Yes.
So this is more like
Tony.
tools and things like that. So this would be Tony and Scott and
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think on that one? That's not me. So I haven't assembled a course in.
I would put down
6,
a 4.
7 years
It's
now.
not going to be hard. It's just getting somebody to talk about it,
Okay.
if not myself.
Facilitation, I could talk about that all
Yeah.
day. SCORM,
All of the rest of them you could talk about.
1.
You,
CMI
why
5.
are you giving SCORM a 1? You know about it.
I don't know anything about SCORM.
Don't what?
HTML5.
You don't know anything about SCORM?
I mean, I do
So why are you putting it down as a 1?
because I don't want to talk about it.
Put it down as a 5.
I want to talk about it.
Just because you don't want to talk about it doesn't
I'm going to talk negatively about it, like
No, you have to give an
a positive out. Like, oh, okay. So
No,
yeah.
not positive. It just has to be unbiased.
I don't know if I can do that.
You got it.
I don't know if I can.
You got it.
Okay. Yeah, almost everything else here I can.
Yeah. I feel like that'll be super easy for
This will be
training.
a little harder to talk
Yeah.
about, but not much. All right. Binding, I think, gets merged together.
Yeah, binding just becomes
It's just
one.
binding, right?
Yeah,
Binding standards, right? Print on demand, I like that actually being
Yes,
itself,
it's a
right?
separate. And
So
then
binding, I think this one it could be a 4
Yeah.
because it's gonna be relatively easy. You just we film a bunch of people doing it.
Yep.
Then we can ask Wayne or somebody
Yeah.
for some information about it. And we already wrote.
Yeah,
we already have a blog
content
post
on
on
that,
it. So, yeah. CD, DVD, so like then USB,
Physical
so
formats,
physical more like.
physical
But
media.
when we do that, we're gonna break these brackets down too small. Like, do we keep them separate or we make them into one? So we just make it physical media.
Yeah.
Physical media.
It's a P.
I realized that after you said it, I was like,